Hello there, and welcome back to Utility Sports. In today's video, we're covering the Andrew Benintendi trade from the Kansas City Royals to the New York Yankees. Now, he made the All-Star game this year, has had a very productive 2 seasons in Kansas City. He won a Gold Glove last year. There's a lot to like about this from the Yankees' perspective. The Joey Gallo trade did not work out for them, and they go ahead and substitute a left-handed bat in Andrew Benintendi. This guy has the ability to hit to all fields, and he is a very trustworthy fielder. Obviously, what we had seen with that Gold Glove. And right now we don't know what that trade compensation is going to look like for the Kansas City Royals. Obviously, it was a tough decision to move on from a guy like Benintendi, but that was their intentions all along. They're trying to really rebuild this from the ground up, and Andrew Benintendi doesn't necessarily fit the timeline. Obviously going to have to pay him once again was really not in the idea for the Kansas City Royals. I feel that there was an immense amount of pressure to move him. Obviously, being one of the biggest trade pieces on the entire market was a big deal for the Kansas City Royals. Now, once again, from the Yankees' perspective, they were looking to get a good, consistent left handed bat in that lineup. Obviously, a very right handed dominant lineup. But when you kind of look at it holistically, the Yankees are right in the thick of it. You have the Houston Astros, who are super tough in that AL that they have to contend with. They didn't really feel that their roster was exactly where it needed to be to make that big postseason run. They obviously are trying to hedge against some injuries that might be happening, which the New York Yankees, historically speaking, especially over the last couple of seasons, have been known to have those big injuries. So let's take a look potentially at what the Royals could have gotten. Since those details have not come out yet, let's do a little bit of speculating. Now, there's a couple of prospects that really jump out to me. Austin Wells, the catching prospect, he's got that ETA of 2023. He's 6'2, 220 pounds. And I think that could be an interesting return for Kansas City. Just getting another catching prospect for sure. Trey Sweeney, the shortstop prospect, ETA of 2024. He's 6'4, 200 pounds, huge frame. Looking at it as a whole, you could also be looking at one of those mid-tier prospects that could be going back in Kansas City's way. Oswaldo Cabrera, an infielder. He's playing currently in high A ball, one of those guys that very well could see when it comes to September call-ups. I think that's a guy that's very close to that level that, Kansas City might be anticipating. Another guy we can keep going down. Maybe they're looking for a left-handed arm in that system. Maybe they're looking, potentially for a right-handed arm. It really depends on preference for Kansas City. They have a pretty good mix of both as it currently stands, but Justin Lang is a guy that I'm keeping my eye on. The overall timeline is a little bit further out with Lang, considering he's just in rookie ball this year at 20 years old. Good right-handed pitcher, 6'4", 220, really brings the gas. Overall, that could be a pretty good package for the Yankees. So, maybe looking at it from the idea that they end up netting, a guy that's at least in the top 7 of their prospects, maybe another mid-tier prospect in the 15 to 18 range, and then maybe one more just a little bit lower down. I think that's kind of a realistic gauge of value for a guy like Andrew Benintendi. Just considering how consistent of a bat he's been, how integral he's been for the Kansas City Royals. That's kind of really what you're looking at. At this point, we're going to go ahead, refresh, and see if anything has come out on the front of the actual trade itself. Once again, we don't have any further details. This is, once again, a huge trade for both sides. The Kansas City Royals were really motivated to get this done, knowing that they could build some really good pieces here. And then obviously the New York Yankees are right in the thick of the playoff hunt. They're trying to lock down, obviously the number one seed there in the American League. There's a lot to love from both sides. Right now, we just don't know that compensation. All we know at this point, Benintendi's heading to New York, and 3 minor leaguers will be coming back to the Royals. That's kind of the extent of where the situation is. It's fluid right now. There's going to be a lot more trades happening, obviously, in the next couple of days. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Also, leave a like on today's video if you did enjoy the content. Really appreciate you stopping by, and we will see you in the very next Utility Sports video.